Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars The Old Republic video, and today we are doing open world PvP. Now, open world PvP is basically dead in SWTOR. I mean, especially when you compare it to other games like World of Warcraft, where open PvP is just so much more active and honestly so much more fun. What you're gonna see here in this video is we are able to do some pretty nice open world PvP, and really it's everything you might expect. We had a good number of people from the Republic. We had a good number of people from the Imperial. We had some battling, and what you'll see later on in the video is there were some one-on-one duels, and you know, they were driving us back to our base, and then we were driving them back to their base, and we had clashes in the center, and we were charging at each other, and it was honestly a ton of fun. And I even invented some mini games myself, which you'll also see me playing in this video, just like, you know, competitions. I said, like, I'm going to try to run all the way across their base and try to get there and back without, you know, getting killed, basically. Stuff like that. But honestly, about after 30-45 minutes of playing this, I got super bored, and everyone else kind of got bored, because really I came back about an hour after I'd left, and no one was doing it anymore. There were like 10 people left, and so it's quite easy to get bored as well. So that's kind of a sentiment to open world PvP being really dead in this game, which is unfortunate, because from what I've heard, games like World of Warcraft have very active open PvP. People have a lot of fun. There's numerous different things you can do. And so, you know, it's a lot more fun and people don't get bored of it as easily. But what's happening in this video specifically is we are invading Thorazon base, and at this point we're basically winning. Like, this is all we can really do. Invade their base, then we have to fight their hardcore boss defenders like the Militia Sentinel, who have tons of health and really good damaging abilities. And this is really just like the high point of what you can achieve. Get here and just keep fighting basically until you die. At this point we started off kind of winning because there weren't many republics, and so we kind of caught them off guard, right? We ganked a few people, and then we just started attacking their base. And we are surviving pretty well. And then I think what ends up happening is a lot of the people that were on our initial ops group, they actually log off and go on to their Republic characters and come back as the Republics, and then we actually get some really good fighting going on. And so, as I was saying, you know, if you're going to do open world PvP, Star Wars The Old Republic is probably not the game to do it. I mean, go play World of Warcraft, maybe Guild Wars 2 or something like that. Just games, you can search it up online and see which ones actually have good open world PvP. But in this specific video, the reason we're able to do it is because it was an actual event, and you know, someone was out there advertising all the time. He was advertising in general chat. You had some YouTubers do a video on it saying this event is happening, and quite a number of people logged on and to do this, and it was quite fun while it lasted. Alright guys, so I'm just jumped a little bit forward here, and at this point you can see that the pubs are now kind of driving us back, and so this is the point where they're kind of regaining a little bit of ground. It's not a lot of fun if you're just face rolling them half the time, so if you're just at their base, you don't really want to be fighting those Militia Sentinels. They have tons of health, they're really boring to fight. You want to be actually fighting the other players, and so this is where it gets a little bit fun, where they're now kind of driving us back, and as you guys can see, all of us are dead. Basically, I leave the ops group, and the reason I leave the ops group is to actually get my companion up. Yeah, on one hand it was a little bit of cheating, and also some people were saying in the chat, you know, take away your companions, but I didn't find that the ops heals were good enough, and so I decided to have my companion with me healing me. But yeah, at this point now they're driving us back, and that's kind of the second half of the fight, and so we're just fighting each other now, and they have lots of pubs here, and us as the Imperials aren't even attacking them yet, because we know the second we jump in to try to attack them, they're just gonna you know, global us. And so they're effectively driving us back. So this is kind of, I guess you could say, the second phase of open world PvP. All the open world PvP that happens in this game happens like this. It happens at Outpost Thorazon. I've participated in a few open world PvP battles, but it usually happens here. And this is exactly how the fights always go. The Imperials will drive the Republics to Thorazon base, will start attacking their Militia Sentinels, and eventually they'll gain enough power to start driving us back. And we have these battles at the middle here. And it is quite fun, honestly. For this particular video, I'm just doing the highlights, you know, things that I can actually narrate over. I will put up another file that will probably be like 15 minutes to an hour long, which will just be the whole open world PvP battle. And so if you're interested in just watching that, you can watch that. I'll even throw in some Star Wars music in the background. And so you can watch that or watch clips of it or parts of it if you want, just to see how the open world PvP battle really goes. I don't think anyone will actually sit there and watch a 15-minute video. I definitely wouldn't. It would be way too boring. But just if you guys wanted to see what an open world PvP battle actually is, without me jumping around and having different clips and stuff. But yeah, I will also upload that if you are interested in watching it. This will just be more of a highlights, some of the fun stuff that actually happened. But at this point, we're still driving them back, and we're effectively able to get them back to their outposts. Now, I'm playing the hybrid Juggernaut, so I'm in tank spec. I have all the tank utilities and stuff. But on the other hand, I'm in all DPS gear, and I'm in full PvP gear. Like, you cannot do this open world PvP while being in PvE or anything, really. Like, you have to be level 65 too, because anyone who's below level 65 won't have the PvP gear, so they won't have any expertise, and they will get killed in seconds. Everyone here is fighting as a level 65 with PvP gear. You just kind of have to. The expertise gives you way too much of a damage boost and a healing boost. And yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm playing the hybrid Juggernaut because on one hand it does crazy amounts of damage, and on the other hand it has absolutely amazing survivability. And you'll see that in this video when I do my little competitions. Like, what I'll do is I'll literally run across the outpost horizon, hide in one of those mud huts, and see how long I can survive being attacked by like 5 or 6 Republic characters. It really is quite fun. And as you guys can see, I'm jumping right into the heat of things. I'm absolutely just jumping right in. I'm not afraid to. I'll probably die, but as you guys can see, I just have tons of cooldowns that I can actually survive for quite some time. And if I had heals on me, I wouldn't have died. Like, the healer would have easily been able to keep up my health. So yeah, just in general, I think the Juggernaut tank build, the hybrid build, sorry, with tank spec and DPS gear just has such a good ratio of survivability to damage. It's not only great for things like this, but it's also great for PvP, honestly. It is pretty overpowered, and although a lot of people were expecting it to be nerfed in patch 4.7, it most definitely wasn't nerfed at all. It wasn't even touched. But in these types of open world PvP situations, it's not about, doing DPS, about doing damage or anything. It really is just about jumping in and having fun. No one's expecting to win a war zone or expecting you to do some objectives and stuff. And that is one of the factors that contributes to it being so much fun. You can really just do whatever you want. Jump into the heat of the battle, get globaled if you want, or try to see how long you'll survive or something like that. As I keep saying, I've played a few games here and made up my own little competitions and stuff, and you can do that kind of stuff with open world PvP because no one's really relying on you to do anything. And on the other hand, you still get to have that PvP aspect. You're versing pubs, you're trying to burn them down, and you have an objective basically, which is to drive them all the way back to their base. And what you're going to see here is a perfect example of what I'm saying when I'm talking about DPS hybrid juggernauts. I'm being focused by like literally every pub in sight. They're all focusing me. I do have the heals on me, and as I was saying, as juggernauts, you just have such good defensive abilities that with a healer you're basically invincible. I'm on 6% health and I'm still able to survive just by the virtue of my abilities. And although you get some of these abilities just as a regular Juggernaut, you do have some really good abilities like Invincible, which basically is a damage reduction by 40%. You only get that if you're in tank spec. And also in tank spec, if you're keeping your Force Scream up, which gives you a barrier, your Crushing Blow, which gives you damage absorption, same thing with your Aegis Assault and your Retaliation, like all those things that you just keep up, right? So if you're attacking someone, you keep clicking those abilities, you keep getting those shields on you, that all just adds to your survivability. And as you guys could see with a healer, I was just able to survive, even going down as low as 6% health. I was still able to get back up to 30-40% health and escape the battle unscathed. And I was being focused by literally 10 to 12 pubs. They were all just doing all their hard-hitting damaging abilities on me, and I was still able to survive. So at this point, I've made it pretty far. We're killing a lot of pubs and they don't really see me. And I'm also being focused by quite a few people, so I decided to run into this little mud hut. And my thinking was, number one, I could just hide out in here, and I was right, because people didn't really follow me. And what you're going to see is I'm going to have to eventually go out, show my face, and and then they'll actually see me and be able to come and attack me. And as you guys can see, Trick Shots notices me, calls me SWTOR TV and stuff, and I actually fight Trick Shots in a 1v1 duel, and I also focus him a lot. So when we're just fighting, I'll see Trick Shots' name and I'll immediately just focus him, because why not? Honestly, the best class to attack a sniper is a DPS hybrid juggernaut. Anyways, so we can see the companion was able to see me here, so he came and attacked me, but I'm going to go out and show my face. But what I was hoping for was in this mud hut, maybe there was a guy or like some sort of mission that could be available. So there was some person that the people who are running their Tatooine missions, they have to come and talk to them or get their mission from them or something, and I thought it would be hilarious if I just hid out here, and if some lobby came to try to get their mission, I could just gank them and keep ganking them, and I thought it would be funny, but unfortunately there was just no one there. It's all empty. So so that plan failed, so I just decided to come out here, show my face, and see if anyone would come follow me and attack me. And fair enough, we had a few people throwing their grenades at me, and then I kind of start running in, and people do end up coming. This scoundrel's gonna, I think he's gonna stealth up and try to attack me. And then we also have the Guardian come in. And this is the point where I kind of create the game. So I decided to fight these two guys a little bit. And then I decided that I was going to try to see if I could actually make it out of here and survive. I'm being focused by 3 people right now. So I pop my Reflect, I pop my AoE Fear, my Enrage, and I try to get out of there. And the game was kind of to see whether I could make it out of the mud hut alive. So after being focused by 3 people, also trying to run out of here while all these other pubs, hoping that they don't focus me as well. And I was able to make it out. I just really easy, like 100% health. So once again, goes to show how OP these tank specs are when they're hybrid, because keep in mind, you'd be able to survive longer as just a regular normal tank, but you wouldn't have the damage output. I mean, I don't know if you guys can notice, but I'm burning these people down pretty well, and I wouldn't be able to do that just as a tank spec. You have to be in DPS gear. You're getting like, well, you can't tell because it's Tatooine scaled, so I'm only doing like 2k damage on my crushing blows, but just to give you a reference point, as a level 65 fully PvP geared, not even fully ranked, okay, just fully regular PvP geared, I'm putting off 12 to 13k crushing blows. And keep in mind that that's AoE. So if I have like 4 people and my crushing blow affects them all, that could potentially be a 40 to 50k hit in 1 second. And so that's why these are really some of the best. The DPS Juggernaut class really is one of the best. Alright, so at this point I see that my companion is fighting this Guardian, and I decide to run in, and I do end up solo killing this Guardian. And after I did so, I was actually pretty happy. I'm like, yeah, solo kill the Guardian, that was pretty nice. And then I realized I was fighting with my comp the whole time, so it was a really unfair fight, because obviously my companion was just healing herself and healing me up, and so obviously I was gonna win. I mean, so it wasn't really anything to celebrate, but at the same time, if you're a Sith, you don't have to fight fair, really. Get your comp going. Open world PvP is all about not fighting fair. It's about giving yourself the edge and ganking people and making them frustrated, really. You don't need to fight fair. And so yeah, I just solo killed this Guardian. A lot of fun, because we were driving them back anyway, and so the whole point was to win. You have to win this center area. And if you can win, then they have to go and respawn back at Outpost Thorazon, and that gives you the ability to gain the land basically and gain the advantage, because then you can move over and start attacking their base once again. And so this is really the other end of the battle. So as I mentioned, when the imps are winning, we'll have driven the Republic troopers back to Outpost Thorazon. We're fighting their military sentinels and everything like that. Now this is when the pubs are winning, when they successfully won that middle ground I was talking about. You know, they've killed us off. We have to go and respawn at our med center, and then they kind of gain that ground and they get to move over and start attacking us at our outpost. And I've never had a PvP battle on Tatooine where the pubs actually win, so it was pretty cool that we got to fight them here on Outpost Zerosh. That is the imp outpost. And so we did end up fighting them, and we beat them pretty easily. And now this is the point where it gets kind of really fun and interesting, because we have our whole army, and since we've killed all of them, they have their army, and they've mounted up and they're moving as well, and we're going to meet each other at the center and have another huge kind of battle. So this is kind of the charge, and I do slow down and try to go back with the army, really. And yeah, so we're just an army of Imperials charging, and they're an army of Republic charging, and we're about to fight over the middle ground and see who wins. And that really is about as good as open world PvP is going to get in SWTOR. And it was a ton of fun, honestly, to be in that whole environment and situation, to having a real war between the Imperials and the Republics. It was a lot of fun. And we're doing something really smart here. We never coordinated or anything, but we're just focused targeting one person. So anyone that kind of diverges off from the normal group of republics, we're just focusing them all and burning them down and killing them. And that other republic is running away because he realizes we're just gonna focus them. As you guys can see also in the chat, I'm trying to arrange a duel with trick shots just because at this point the open world PvP is getting a little bit boring. I mean, we've just been fighting each other left, right, and center for quite a long time. Keep in mind, I'm just running through clips right now. We've been fighting for a lot longer than the videos going on, and I'm trying to find trick shots, but unfortunately every time I try to go to find him, these republics just get right on me and kill me. And at one point, me and Trick Shots are actually trying to run over to the side to just get to an area where we can duel, and the Republics won't let us. They just keep finding me and killing me and burning me down. So if you think the Imperials have no mercy, well, this proves you otherwise. I mean, the Republics don't, the pubs don't really have any mercy either. You know, the second they, as you guys can see, I'm trying to run over, and Trick Shots isn't attacking me. He's trying to lead me away so that we can duel, and the pubs just, they're showing no mercy whatsoever. They're just killing me. And then the tables turn a little bit, and so I use a medical probe. I'm following Trick Shots. We're gonna go over to a place to duel. Unfortunately, not only is Trick Shots gonna get focused by all the Imperials that are that way, I'm gonna run out of stealth here, and all the pubs are gonna basically focus me as well, or chase me. I don't know if they actually end up catching me, but they do chase me a little bit. Yeah, and I'm gonna go over to the Outpost Zero to try to find Trick Shots, and I'm gonna find him dead because all the imps are gonna basically try to fight, are going to burn him down. And yeah, this is just another instance of really the Republics and the Imperials going at it at this middle field here, trying to win. And this is really how the open world PvP should be, where we have the battle at the middle. I really don't like fighting at the outpost because it's really unfair when you have those huge bosses with crazy amounts of health that are meant to keep the Republics or the Imperials out of the base. There's no fun fighting them. It's really boring and they do tons of damage, but it's a lot more fun to actually be fighting Republic characters.